Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight. Welcome to another powerful and life changing episode of Real Life Talk podcast. This is not just another conversation. This is where real people talk about real struggles, real emotions, real experiences, and real solutions. And let me make this very clear from the beginning. This is not a religious debate. This is not politics. And this is not a controversial discussion. This is simply pure, honest, open, and real conversation about life. And I mean real life talk. In a generation where everybody looks happy online, but many are silently battling depression, insecurity, loneliness, comparison, pressure, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Tonight's conversation is going to expose the difference between what is posted and what is actually real. Yes, indeed, we are in a generation where everybody looks happy online. We're in a generation where everybody looks happy online, but many are battling depression. Many are silently battling depression. Many are silently battling insecurity, loneliness, comparison, pressure, and many other things. So tonight, like I said, we're going to expose the difference between what is posted and what is actually real. Because the truth is, many people are smiling on social media while secretly breaking in real life. Tonight, we are talking about a topic that affects everybody. We are talking about a topic that affects everybody, as in everybody. Young people, adults, married couples, singles, students, creators, influencers, professionals. Literally everyone. Our topic tonight is social media versus real life. How online lifestyles affect confidence, relationships, and mental health. And I am excited because I am not alone tonight. Joining me is someone very insightful, someone very intelligent, someone relatable, someone impactful, and a medical doctor. And I'm happy to announce that she will also be joining us regularly here on Real Life Talk podcast as a regular co host. Please help me welcome Dr. Raygene Manuel, or you call her Doctora, like in the Philippines, we call a female doctor Doctora. Okay, so Doctora Raygene Manuel. So help me welcome her. Hello, Doc.
Hello everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Pastor AD. I think you exaggerated your introduction about me. But anyways, I'm glad to be here, and I believe you would have a very interesting topic. We'll have a very interesting conversation this evening with the topic that we have. So I'm just happy to be here with you. To everyone online watching us, being with us, hello, hello.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you for being with us tonight. Okay, to everyone watching from different places around the world, welcome. Please do us a favor, share this live stream, tag your friends, invite somebody, and let us know where you are watching from. And throughout this conversation, we want you involved. So comment your thoughts, share your experiences, ask questions. And if anyone would like to share their opinion on today's topic, or if anyone would like to contribute to the conversation or join us live in the studio, simply go to the description, click the link provided, and join the conversation live with us.
Yes.
Because tonight, this is going to be real. This is going to be real. Okay, let's start with social media. Social media is not always reality. Social media is not always reality. Doc Reg,
Yeah, I agree.
I want us to begin here. you know, One thing many people struggle with is comparison. People see perfect pictures, people see perfect relationships, people see perfect vacations, people see perfect lifestyles online, and they start feeling like their own lives are not enough. So, Doc, do you think social media has created unrealistic expectations about life?
Yes, I agree with that, Pastor AD. Most social media algorithms reward content that gets attention fast. Like it distorts man's perception of the world. It shows the person immersed into it with anything that is not real, or there's a saying that goes, your life moves in the direction of your strongest thoughts. So the social media feeds the person with uh, realities, or feeds a person what the person sees, what the person hears on social media. It stays on the thoughts, and
Mm,
being consumed with that thought will influence that person's feelings and eventually the actions. So I believe that social media gives a person false perception or interpretation of reality, of the real world.
Mm, wow. By the way, Mary Chris says shout out to Pastor Eddie and Dr. Rage. Okay. Mary Chris, nice to see you. It's been a while. I think it's been so many years I haven't seen you. Okay. Uh Doc, that's really a very powerful one. I really believe what you said because that is one of the biggest problems today. People compare, their behind the scenes life with somebody else highlight reel. You know, most people only post their victories, they only post their achievements, they only post beautiful moments, edited photos,
Yeah,
luxury experiences, or even happy memories. You know, but nobody posts their crying moments. Nobody posts their sleepless nights. Nobody posts their insecurities. Nobody posts their arguments, their loneliness, their failures, their depression or struggles. So people begin to believe that everybody is happy except me. Like you said, once they start, you know, thinking what they see on social media affects their thought, affects what they think about, and that mindset can slowly damage confidence and emotional health. I agree with you. So that is powerful. And honestly, many people are trying to keep up with lifestyles they cannot even afford, just to
yeah,
look successful online. That is what we see,
that's true.
just to look successful online. Some people are mentally exhausted because they are living for validation instead of living authentically. So I agree with you. Okay, let's ask the audience tonight. Every one of you watching, I just want to ask this question: have you ever compared your life to somebody you saw on social media? Guys, just be honest, okay? Be honest in the comments. I just want you to be honest. So it's a question to the audience. You comment your answer, okay? Comment your answer. Have you ever compared your life to somebody you saw on social media? Remember, this is real life talk. We would like you to just be honest about it, okay? Okay, now let's look at social media and mental health. Doc Reg, I remember some few, I think 2 years ago or early last year. I think it should be either 2 years ago or early last year. Both of us discussed something about mental health, and you told me the burden you have, on how to reach out to people and educate them, because that is one of
Yeah,
the major area that people struggle a lot. In fact, some people are struggling mentally and they don't even know it.
yeah,
Some
that's true.
people have mental they are sick mentally, but they don't even know. A lot of people going through a lot of mental challenges, but they don't even know it. They just think it's just normal. So let's talk about mental health. Doc, how exactly uh, does excessive social media use affect mental and emotional well-being?
Excessive social media use can affect mental and emotional well-being in so many ways, like constantly comparing yourself to others that you see on social media can eventually lower your self-esteem. And then endless scrolling, like what most people do, it overstimulates the brain and reduces your focus. And also, the algorithms often push emotionally intense content because it keeps the users engaged longer. So, being so immersed in social media would result to poor sleep habits, and it's becoming common among the younger generation.
Mm, wow. So I think everyone listening is learning a lot from this, because this is very important. You know, like personally, I've also discovered that that one of the ways that social media use affect mental and emotional well-being is first anxiety.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is one of the things I've discovered also. People constantly feel pressure to stay updated. you know if I believe some of our audience can bear me witness. There are people, immediately they wake up from sleep, the first thing they do is to get their cell phone, go to notification to check
indeed.
updates. There are a lot of people do that. Once they wake up from sleep, the first thing they do is to check update. They go to social media to check update. So I believe that people constantly feel pressure to stay updated. They look attractive, they post regularly, you know, they gain attention, they gain likes, gain followers, and they just want to stay relevant. And another area, another way that I'm talking about myself now.
Mhm.
I'm just adding to the answer you already gave, because I also realized that excessive social media use, one of the ways that excessive social media use affect mental and emotional being is depression. Depression. Many people begin to feel inadequate when they compare themselves to influencers, when they compare themselves with celebrities or even friends online.
Indeed.
you know they start feeling inadequate. Another way is the emotional dependency. Some people's happiness depends on engagement. How many likes they get when they get their phone. Let's say they post something, they get their phone, always they want to check how many likes do I get. Did somebody like my post? If they check nobody like, so I know someone that posted something one time on Facebook, and nobody, he wakes up in the morning and he didn't see any like. He got irritated and he deleted his post because he was expecting people to like it. you know
Yeah.
so their happiness depends on engagement. How many likes did I get? Who viewed my story or my reel? Why didn't this person reply me? Why are people ignoring my post? Those things, and that creates emotional instability. Okay. And it becomes dangerous when people start measuring their value through social media or through digital attention,
Yeah.
because your worth should never be determined by likes.
Indeed. That's
Your
true.
worth should never be determined by followers or by comments or online validation. You know, So that is one of the things I believe. A person. By the way, a person can have 1 million followers and still feel empty inside.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah,
You can see
you can have.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
there were news of like this very famous social media influencers committing suicide. That's very sad.
Yeah,
Despite what they how they project themselves on social media, yet the reality is deep inside they are drowning in anxiety or depression.
yeah, that's true. They have, they have millions of followers and they still feel empty, and that leads to some of them committing suicide. And ah, in fact, the truth is that visibility is not the same as fulfillment. That's just the fact. Visibility is not the same as fulfillment. Now, let's go deeper a little bit, uh, because, Doc, I think another issue is that many people are constantly consuming content without protecting their minds. Many people are constantly consuming content without protecting their minds. Like, for example, negative. We are just talking about something earlier about news. Like, for example, negative news, toxic arguments. Fake lifestyles, relationship drama, and many
Yeah.
others. You know, you know, and some people are even ashamed of their body, because they gain weight, and they start feeling insecure, and some of them feel ashamed of themselves, all those kind of things. And there is also cyberbullying, you know and all these things are things that affect emotions subconsciously. They affect emotions subconsciously.
Yes. A very
Okay,
wise man once said, guard your heart because it is the wellspring of life. So we need to be careful with what we
that's
are
true.
hearing, what we are
Yes,
seeing, especially on social media, because it
exactly.
conditions our thoughts. It sends the message to our brain, and we, as we
Mm,
ponder on what we are seeing, what we have been hearing, what the social media is feeding us, then it becomes a fuel to our emotion.
yeah,
Eventually,
that's true.
our emotion, if we are not careful, will influence our actions.
Mm. So what we consume repeatedly
Yes,
eventually
indeed.
shapes our emotions. I think that's what you mean, Doc, right?
Yeah, indeed.
So what we consume repeatedly eventually shapes your emotions, shapes your mindset, shapes your confidence,
Indeed.
and even your identity.
Yes.
So, in other words, your mind needs boundaries. I think
We
that's
need
just as simple as
to,
that. Your
yeah,
mind needs boundaries. Okay.
true.
Question for everyone. Question for everyone watching. This is a question for everyone watching. Do you think social media is helping your mental health or hurting it? Please comment your answer. Okay, comment your answer. This is a question for everyone watching. Do you think social media is helping your mental health or hurting it? While we are waiting for some answers, I, I just want to share something. you know, sometime last year, I had issues with my FB account, and it was suspended by Facebook. And when it was suspended, I started getting worried. I was so disturbed about it that I tried to appeal. I appealed, and they approved my appeal, and I was able to access my account again. Then 2 days later, they sent me a warning again. As I was just reading the warning, then it was suspended again. Then I was so disturbed that I realized that it was affecting me already. That my social media account was suspended by Facebook. So uh, I was so disturbed about it that the whole, I think about 2, 3 days, that I wasn't myself. I wasn't myself. But do you know that I ended up staying weeks, months? I had to even try to recreate another account, and immediately I created it, they suspended it again. That is to tell you how disturbed I was. I
Yeah.
tried to create another one again about 3 times, and they were all suspended immediately. So I decided to let it be. So I was able to stay weeks. I think it's even more, a month plus or more than that. I spent, you know, before I know, I got used to it. I realized that social media doesn't move me anymore. You see, it's like I became myself without the social media. While we're just discussing about this, I just remember, I said, okay, so this is really how social media can affect our mind if we don't protect our mind. It can affect us. It can affect our mindset. It can affect our emotions. It can. I saw somewhere a person who was angry with his son because something happened to his TikTok account, the son's TikTok
Mm.
account, and they were trying to rectify it, and it didn't work. And the son was so angry that he threw away the phone, and the
Oh,
phone was broken. You know, you see, the little boy was affected emotionally because of what? Social media. So what we consume repeatedly shapes or eventually shapes your emotions, your mindset, uh, 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 confidence, and even identity. Let me read some people's comment, Doc, before we proceed. A lot of
okay.
people are responding to the question. Joanna Marie Relator said, "Not for me. It cost me stress, especially because of what's happening in the Philippines about politics. So I decided to stop
Oh,
scrolling and lie low first for my peace of mind." You see, these are the
yeah.
things social media can cause. Joanna, thank you so much for being so honest. This is what we are talking about. This is why we're here because this is really an honest conversation where we have to really discuss things that relates to life. Because thank God we have a doctora here who can also educate us, guide us, so that we can learn how to protect our mind, our minds, in this kind of situations. Okay, so please, we need more answers. We need more answers. Madeline says, "I agree, because all of us are born great pretenders." Okay, because some people pretend that they are okay, but they are not really okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, okay. Let's go to social media and relationships. This is another very important. You know, oh my God, I just wanna, Doc, relationship. A lot of relationships are being affected by social media.
Yeah.
I have seen relationships that were, broken because of social media. People who were okay, couples that were okay just because of what they saw on social media, because of Facebook. TikTok, Instagram, and others because of, you know. Uh, by the way, we are not saying that social media is bad. Okay, we're not saying, but what we are talking about here, we are trying to discuss on how we'll be able to, how we can be able to protect our mind, because there are things we could see in social media that if we are not careful, it will affect our emotions. It could affect our mindsets, our confidence, and many others. So let's discuss about relationship, because this is affecting many people, Doc. Uh,
Yeah.
so, Doc, let me ask, how has social media changed relationships today?
I had this realization before that many people spend most of their time on social media because of three reasons. First is for self expression, then for creation. That is why we have so many content creators now. And third is for relationship. And I think
Mm,
that's three uh, inherent needs of man: to express oneself, to create, of course, to unleash the giftings and talents that the person has, and for relationship.
mm,
Social media has made people digitally connected. Of course, it made us connect with other people, even in distant places, easier, more accessible. But the sad thing is that we become digitally connected but physically distant.
mm,
Imagine on a dinner with a family, the parents with children with their phones, with their plates in front of them, and the cell phones on the side. And then every now and then, we would
mm,
scroll, or even when you can see it in coffee shops and restaurants. People are seated beside each other, but they are not talking. They are not. They are not being present in the moment. They
mm,
have their attention focused on the phone, scrolling.
mm.
That's it. It makes people digitally connected but physically distant.
Yeah. You made a point. There's something you said about you are having a dinner, you are having your dinner, and the kids are with you while they are eating. They are also on social media, or they are browsing while eating. They are focused. Their mind is, you know there on the, what do you call it, cell phone,
Yeah,
whereas they are eating. But do you know that it's not just kids, even adults.
even adults.
Even
Like
adults
you
do
meet
that, not
someone
just
for
kids.
coffee.
You see someone
the,
is eating, and
this,
some people, while they are eating, they are watching movie at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. And like you said, it but when it comes to relationship, I think there are ways that social media, you know has really helped when it comes to relationship. Like, for example,
yes,
communication has increased because of social media. Like you mentioned that point. Also, you mentioned about someone can be very far, but digitally you are still connected. You can talk anytime, even though the person is far. For example, like me, I'm here in the Philippines, and my siblings are in another country, some in US, some in Canada, yet we communicate every day, you see.
yeah.
And when we talk hours. It's like we are close to each other because of social media. We are as if we are very near to each other because of social media. In that way, social media, it helps because communication has increased. But like you mentioned also, genuine connection has also decreased because you
Yeah,
cannot compare
that's true.
physical and digital. You know, genuine connection has decreased. You know, people are always online, but emotionally unavailable. You know, like for example, many couples now fight because of, uh, like I said earlier, seen messages or ignored chats.
Yeah,
Uh,
and social media makes or breaks a relationship.
yes,
It affects the communication process. You mentioned it earlier, Pastor, about communication. You know, in
yeah.
communication, there are the elements of what do you call that? The elements of
Let's say,
communication:
let's
the
say, it,
messenger, the
mm,
message, the
uh,
medium for communication, and the receiver. So
yeah.
you send this, you post your feelings on social media. You express
I,
yourself
wa-
on
I
social
was,
media,
I
using
was
the
gonna
social
say that.
media as
Uh,
a platform, and then the other person perceives it differently, like
uh, yes,
misinterprets your message. So it really affects the communication
yeah.
process
It affects.
and the
Like
relationship
you said,
eventually between people.
yeah. Like you said, uh, let's say a husband and a wife had some misunderstandings, and the man may post something that maybe not because of that, of the misunderstanding, just because maybe he came across something and decided to post it. Then the wife will see the post and, like you say, perceive it differently, read meaning in that post, and react. Before you know, it will cause a fight between the couples.
Yeah.
Even boyfriend and girlfriends, even you know even people, even colleagues, co-workers, they post something. Okay, I'll share this. Last December, because last year I was processing papers for my office, and uh, so last December, the one who was helping me, the bookkeeper who was helping me to process it, uh, I already fully paid. Then all of a sudden, I saw her post. You know, she posted something about how she will never help again. That there was something she posted. I was like, and she was like, uh, "I have done all I can." The post is something like that. That I have done all I can, and you know, I am spending more than I was paid. Something like that. So I was like, "Who was she talking about?" you know,
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
who is
common.
she? So you see, I read meaning. I was like, was she talking about me? But I paid her full. So I paid. She received full payment. So what is she talking about? So I had to ask her so that you know to clarify, to be sure I'm not the one. Yeah. So these are the things social media can. These are some of the areas it can affect people. Let's read some other comments. And uh, is it Prana? Can you see that, doc?
Pranav, let me check.
Yeah, Pranav Relata.
Yeah,
Let
Pranav.
let me see if I can. If I think, yeah, it's there on the screen. Can you read, doc?
Wait, I can't see it. Before here from Pranav Relata 2964. Before, it took me to where I shouldn't be, and usually it triggered different emotions like anger and sadness to the extremes that I tend to argue with other people to the point where it's pointless.
Yeah, I think this is an answer to the question I asked earlier regarding uh, how has social media uh, you know I asked the audience earlier, Do they think that social media is helping their mental health or hurting it? I think
Yeah.
this is his answer to that question.
Thank
And
you for that.
Joanna also said social media can affect emotions, especially when there is too much
Yes.
negativity online. And it's true. Okay. Yeah, it's true.
Sorry for that.
Okay. Uh Now, uh you see, Doc, like what you were saying, there was like I said about messages, let's say somebody send a message to his partner or to his wife or to her husband, and you could and you check, you see a sign that the person have read the message and didn't reply. You, you see, you start wondering, why didn't he reply? What is he doing? And in those days, when there was no social media and others, if you call and the person don't answer, in your mind, oh, maybe he's not around or maybe he's busy. You remember that was
That's
in
true.
those days. But today, if you send a message and the person read it and don't reply you immediately, you start, like what one of our audience said, someone from the audience said, you see, it start affecting the person. The person will start, you know, the person will become emotional and start reacting. Why didn't he? He read my message. What was he doing? Why didn't he reply me? Why didn't he? It took him 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to reply me, or it took her. What was she doing? Is she too busy to just reply the message? But there is something I have also discovered. Do you know, Doc? You can open a message and read the message while you are trying to reply the message. Something else or somebody else may start talking to you, and you will start paying attention to the person talking to you.
Yeah.
Then you will end up forgetting to reply that message. In your mind, you will think you have replied the message.
It happened. It happens to me. Many. It
uh,
happened to me many
because
times. Yeah.
it has happened to me several times. So, but it, sometimes people must learn to control their emotion, because you may not really know what is going on the other side, on the other end. You don't know why that person did not reply you immediately, or why that person did not check his message, or why that person did not answer the call. So we have to, people really need to, you know uh, 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 people need to watch their emotion, because once you allow, like we said, social media is good, but if you don't protect your mind, it may affect you emotionally. And that is that. uh, there is another thing I realized about social media: online jealousy.
Yeah.
Online jealousy. Do you know there is online jealousy?
Yeah, that's true.
Online jealousy. Sometimes you wish you are like that person, and you start seeing that that person is doing more. There are people like that. They have online jealousy. They start feeling jealous that that person is doing better than them, or that person have more followers, or that person have more likes on their post. And that is why you see people start comparing themselves, because you see this person post a picture, you want to also post. So nowadays we have AI. Some people will go to AI and create a very beautiful picture, because they want to be like the other person, or they want to have more likes than that person. A lot of things going on. So there is also online jealousy. There is also privacy issues on social media, and there is also secret conversations.
Yeah. That's true. That's true,
That's a
Pastor. Uh,
secret conversations. And
I just want to share something. Like I
mhm,
was thinking about what you said earlier about us becoming impatient of not being replied to when we send a message. So the speed of how we are able to communicate nowadays through social media, I think
mm,
it has made people impatient.
exactly.
Yeah, before I used to do pen paling. I was a pen palist back in my high school days. Like I grew up with snail mails, sending letters through the post office to another
Mm.
country, and then the reply would come after so many months. But then
Woo!
the patience and the excitement to receive the reply is there. Eventually,
You
you
don't receive it.
have that letter on your hand so that long. But now, even you send just a text, it you don't you're not being replied to after just a few minutes. You get so very impatient.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyway, these are some of the problems we're having, and you know, anyway, uh, uh, and Daka, many relationships are suffering because
Yeah.
people are performing love online instead of building love privately. I will explain that. Uh, I will explain that. What I mean by people performing love, they on social media they look so happy with their partner, with their wife, or with their girlfriend or with their boyfriend. They look so happy on picture, on social media. But behind the scene, there is nothing like happiness. So they perform online love instead of building their love privately. So these are some of the challenges we see people. You know, uh, one thing I want people to know is that I want our viewers to know is that you know, like I said, some couples look perfect online, but are emotionally disconnected in real life.
That's
Let me
true.
say this: real relationships require communication, honesty, trust, sacrifice, patience, and emotional presence. Remember, I said trust, sacrifice, patience, trust. Okay, honesty, trust, sacrifice, patience, and emotional presence. Emotional presence. So these are very important because these are the things real relationships require: communication, honesty, trust, sacrifice, patience, and emotional presence. Not just pictures, not just pictures and captions. No. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about that. Then, Doc, let me ask you because I want us to make this interesting. Let me ask you, Doc. What is one social media behavior that immediately gives you red flags? What
Mm.
is one social media behavior that immediately gives you red flags?
Oh, what gives me red flag is someone who constantly needs online validation from strangers.
Huh?
Like
Again?
uh, needing online validation from strangers. Like
Living
you
online validation.
needing online validation.
Okay,
You need
needing online
online
validations.
validation. Of course, from strangers liking your post, giving you a heart, or sharing your post. Then, if every moment of one's life, relationship, achievements need to be posted social media for approval, then it may signal insecurity or the need for
Mm,
attention or lack of
yes,
authenticity.
that's true. I agree. That's great. Wow. So whenever one sees that, it's a sign of insecurity. Uh,
Or the
my
need
God.
for attention, or
The person is, oh my God. You
and
just, you
somehow
just hit,
also,
you just hit the hammer on the head of the nail. Wow. Okay. That is great. And, wow. You just, you just made a very powerful statement now. And I think it hits me. Yeah, because people constantly seek attention
yeah,
from everybody online, and that's true. Whew. But let me, my own answer. This is because the question now. I have to answer the question also. Okay, so I have to tell you one social media behavior that immediately gives me red flags, and that is people who post relationship quotes every hour after fighting with somebody.
yeah,
You see someone after fighting with someone, they go to social media and post. You made you made a point earlier. You were talking about people who can they can speak out via social media. They go to social media and they just express themselves on social media. But I think when it comes to a relationship, it's not right that just because you just had a fight with somebody, you quickly go on social media and start, posting, you know, posting your feelings, how you feel, and all those things. No, you don't do that on social media. For me, that is a red flag. That's a red flag. People who post relationship quotes every hour after fighting with somebody. For me, that's a red flag. It's a red flag. Okay. Okay. We Let's now talk about self-confidence and identity. Self-confidence and identity. One major issue today is insecurity that we mentioned earlier, right? You mentioned that earlier. Insecurity. Many people, many young people no longer feel beautiful enough.
yeah,
Many young people no longer feel beautiful enough. They no longer feel successful enough or valuable enough because social media constantly shows unrealistic beauty standards and lifestyle. So they tend, such thing. Uh, okay, I'll just share something. There is this news of a girl who went home and said to his dad and his mom, "Dad, Mom, can I ask you a question?" They said, "Okay, go ahead. What's it? What is it?" Then she said, "Am I beautiful?" The father said, "Huh? Why?" He said, "Just answer me. Am I beautiful?" Then the father said, "Yes, you're beautiful." Then the mom said, "Oh my God, you are the most beautiful girl, the most beautiful daughter and beautiful girl I've ever known." She said, "Mom, you are lying. I just saw one girl that one girl on Facebook. She's so pretty, and I cannot compare my beauty with her. She's so beautiful. She's so pretty." So the man talked to me about that because he was really struggling on how to, because the daughter was affected by that so much. Now, if you check nowadays, you see that on social media, it looks like young people are competing. It's like there's a competition between young people on social media. Some, you see this one want to be like the other one. You see, because this other young boy or young girl have a lot of thousands of followers on TikTok, and he's earning some money from TikTok, and the other one will say, oh, I want to also have a TikTok account. No, there is this something that looks like a competition between the young people on social media. Now, since young people feel not beautiful enough, they feel not successful enough, they feel not valuable enough, because social media constantly shows unrealistic beauty standards and lifestyles to them. Now, Doc,
Yeah.
what would you say to somebody struggling with self-worth because of social media? What would you say to somebody struggling with self-worth because of social media?
uh, to that person
Before you
struggling
answer,
with
before you answer, I think
insecurity.
you have,
Yeah. Okay.
Doc, before you answer, I think you have one of your relative saying hi to you. That is,
Hi.
let me post it. Let me show it on the screen so that you can see. Can you see someone say hi? So you have to say hello to
Hello,
your.
Auntie. Watching po here from Japan. Mayang ni. Hello, Mayang.
Okay. Okay. So, Doc, go ahead. What will you say to somebody struggling with self worth because of social media?
To you who is struggling with their self-worth, with their self-image because of social media bullying or being undervalued on social media, you are beautifully and wonderfully made. You need to know that. You
Wow.
need to know that. You need to remember that. Do not
Yes.
gauge your worth based on the likes or based on other people's opinion of it, about you, of how they see you. I would just like to share about a person who's very beautiful, very, for me, she's very beautiful, very talented, and very intelligent, so full of potential, but suffered with anxiety and depression, all because
Mm.
she was bullied on social media. And it affected her negatively. It really shattered her self
Oh no.
image, the way she sees herself. And it resulted to doing something to her body that resulted to irreversible damage. Of course,
Oh
not
my.
suicide actually, but it did irreversible damage to her body. But the good
Mm.
thing is she underwent therapy and distanced herself uh, to social media for a while, and paved her way through healing and
Mm.
discovering her uh, true identity, her regaining her self worth.
Mm. Your audio, Doc.
Uh, so
Okay, it's
I was
back.
not audible.
Yeah,
Is
it's
that
okay
okay?
now. It's back.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So, Doc, I will, I will, I didn't want to share this, but let me share it because this is real life
Real life
conversation.
talk.
Yeah. I remember my daughter, Avila. I remember some years ago, uh, there was something that happened. In fact, recently she was trying to create a content with that experience. Something she experienced when she was younger than she is today, because she's older than then.
Yeah.
So uh, I think that was in her first grade or second grade, and so she was studying in their province then. So her classmates were like trying to bully her because she looked different because of her color. So they will tell her, uh, they keep saying things. And one day she just summoned courage. She said to them, "Oh, you know what? Black is beautiful." you know,
Yeah, true. Black is
you know,
beautiful.
I don't know where that courage, I don't know where she got that courage from. So now, now, uh, I just want everybody to know this. Let me say this to everybody. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what, uh, you know, no matter your status in life, never allow social media to define your identity, no matter what. Never allow social media to define your identity. One thing you must know is that filters can edit pictures, but they cannot heal
Filter.
insecurity.
Yes, that's true.
Filters can edit pictures, but they cannot heal insecurity. And again, luxury posts, luxury posts cannot guarantee peace. Beauty cannot replace self worth. And let me say this: popularity cannot replace purpose. People may learn to appreciate who they are in real life, not online. People must learn, sorry. People must learn to appreciate who they are in real life, not just online. Okay, I know that is a deep statement, but it's very important that I say that.
Yeah.
The reason is because confidence is built on public. I mean, I say that because I say that because confidence built on public approval will collapse the moment people stop applauding you. Confidence built on public approval will
Will
collapse the moment
collapse.
people stop applauding you. It will collapse. So that's why you don't need to build your confidence on public approval. You don't need to. Okay, somebody listening tonight, I want you to hear this. You do not need to become somebody else to be valuable. You do not need to become somebody else to be valuable. Your life has meaning. Your journey in life matters, and your process matters. Don't destroy your peace trying to imitate another person's lifestyle. Don't destroy your peace trying to imitate another person's lifestyle. Okay, now before we close, let's go to this another important. Uh, let's just talk about this briefly, Doc, before we close. Let's talk about healthy social media habits, because we have talked about
Of course.
the dangers. We've talked about the negative part of it. Now let's talk about the healthy social media habits, because it's important. Okay, so I want us to become practical now. Let's become practical. So, Doc Reg, what are healthy ways people can use social media without allowing it to control them? What are healthy ways people can use social media without allowing it to control them?
Of course. Do not allow social media to control you. So intentionally, you should limit your screen time. Need to
Hmm.
avoid waking up and picking up your phone, scrolling, and end your
Hmm.
day. Yeah, hitting that like button before you go to sleep. So also follow accounts that help boost your self-esteem or gives you knowledge, or those who help you improve your well-being. And
mm,
although even although we have on social media, we have friends and relatives whose posts constantly appear on our timeline or on our screen, but negative posts, or they just rant on Facebook. You
wow.
don't have to unfriend them, you just unfollow them, so
Mm.
for your peace of mind.
Audio, audio dog
Yeah, so how about this, Pastor?
is good.
Yeah,
It's good
am I
now.
audible? So, what I was saying earlier is we need to limit our screen time intentionally. Like avoid waking
Perfect.
up, grabbing your phone and scrolling Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and then
Mm,
just before going to sleep, you also watch Facebook posts. So you need to limit your screen time as much as possible, and then
mm,
follow only those who help your well-being, or you and unfollow those uh, who makes you makes you discouraged, or those
mm.
who just rant on Facebook and post negative things, negative stuff that will cause you to become angry or just fuel your sadness, fuel your
Just like
confusion.
Joanna said that she
Yeah.
had to stop.
Yes, you don't have to unfriend them actually. You just have to unfollow them if they are not helping you to battle your own mental health challenges.
Mm, wow. But there's something I discovered in TikTok, and I really like it. You know, if you are on TikTok for more than an hour, TikTok will send you a notification that you have stayed too long on your screen. Then
Good.
TikTok will ask you if you want to continue or you need to take a
Yeah.
break. If you want to continue, TikTok will ask you, okay, they will give you a code, a number, either 1234 or 123 or 123456, or they will just give you a code and ask you to type this number if you want to control. I mean, if you want to continue. But if you don't want to continue, you take a break. And the first time I saw that, I said, wow, this is good. Wow,
Oh,
this
that's
is good.
great.
Because it's important that people set time limits. Not everything online deserves your attention. You need to set time limits.
Yes.
Take breaks from social media because your mind need rest. Yes. Like Doc have already explained, stop comparing your life to others. And also, she also said it, follow content that educates you, that will help your mental health, that will, contents that will educate you, contents that will help you, that will help your self esteem. You know, those are the kind of contents you should follow. Follow content that educates, follow content that inspires, follow content that uplifts you, you know.
Yeah.
So you need to protect your mental space. Doc Reg already said it. Protect your mental space. Unfollow toxic content. Like Joanna already said that once you open the social media, all you see is there are some news that will just make you angry. So she decided to not to open that anymore. So that is it. Unfollow toxic content. Spend more time building real life relationships instead of social media. Learn to enjoy moments without posting everything. Yes. Yes. Learn to enjoy moments without posting everything. So the last one is powerful. Some people no longer enjoy life naturally because every moment has become content. Everybody, like you said earlier, Doc, Everyone today is a content creator. Everyone is a content creator today. You know, uh, uh, that is really the reality. That is what we see today. By the way, everybody watching, I want to ask this question. I want to ask this quick question. What is one unhealthy social media habit people need to stop?
Mm.
Everybody watching, I want you to drop your answers in the comments. Okay. This is we are rounding up. We are rounding up. Okay. We are rounding up. After this, we go to the last part of this podcast. Okay. What is one unhealthy social media habit people need to stop? Please, we need your response. Everyone watching, comment your answer. Drop your answers in the comments. Okay. What is one unhealthy social media habit people need to stop? Okay, we are waiting for your answers. We are waiting for your answers. Okay, while we are waiting, Doc,
Yes.
let's do this. This is a quick fire round. Okay, uh, Doc Reg.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, this is quick fire questions, and I want answers. Okay, Doc, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok?
Facebook. I only have Facebook. No TikTok. Once in a blue moon on Instagram.
Okay, another one, Doc. Would you rather lose your phone for 1 week or lose internet for 1 month?
Lose internet for 1 month. Yeah,
Wow,
I can buy
really?
data. I can access Wi-Fi anywhere.
Really? You
Yeah,
would
it's my
rather
own
lose
internet connection. Yeah,
you would rather lose internet for 1 month.
yeah. Because
Okay. Because your phone contain almost everything.
I use phone for as my calculator, as my
Oh,
camera.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Another one. Uh Now let me ask this, Doc. What is worse? Fake lifestyle or fake relationship online?
I believe fake lifestyle, fake relationship. Yeah, I love fake relationship, fake lifestyle, or fake relationship because it shatters your emotion. It could shatter your
Okay.
emotion.
Doc, one advice for young people.
I for the young people, do not build your life on virtual reality, but do not conform to the pattern that the social media is shaping you.
Mm,
But you need to be renewed. You need to renew your mind every now and then and live in the real world. There is so much to discover. There is so much to do. Uh, you need to go out and just connect with other people and just
mm,
express yourself in the real world and not on social media because trends are temporary, but the real life, yeah, it
wow.
will sustain you.
Okay. So, people, you have heard that. Do not build your life on social media. Build your real life more than your online image.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Reg, before we close, what final message would you give everyone watching tonight?
So to everyone watching, thank you for the time spent with us. And just one thing, guard your heart because everything you do flows from it. Guard your
Oh,
heart, the center of your thoughts, the center of your emotion, the center of your will, because everything. flows from it. And whatever you see on social, you read on social media, whatever you see, whatever you hear, it stays here, and it affects your emotion eventually, your action, and builds your identity. It will build you or it will shatter you. God bless
Hmm.
everyone.
Wow. What the word. Okay, we have all heard it. Of course, we all know social media is a tool,
Yeah.
and it's important you know that. Always remember that, everyone. Social media is a tool, not your identity. So use it wisely. Don't let it control your emotions. Don't lose yourself trying to impress people online. Very important. Don't lose yourself trying to impress people online.
Yeah.
Build your confidence internally, okay, not on social media. Build real relationships, okay. Protect your mental health and never sacrifice peace for digital validation, okay. Wow. Okay,
That's,
what an incredible conversation tonight. Okay, to everyone watching, thank you for spending this time with us here on Real Life Talk Podcast. If tonight's discussion blessed you, challenged you, or helped you in any way, please share this video with somebody else. And remember, your real life matters more than your online image. Don't become famous online while becoming emotionally empty inside. I will
yeah.
say that again. Don't become famous online while becoming emotionally empty inside. So choose peace, choose authenticity, okay? Choose meaningful relationships, choose mental health, choose purpose. And thank you once again to Dr. Rage. Like I said earlier, she's gonna be with me every week or regularly. We're gonna be seeing her. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Again, take care of your mind, protect your peace, and stay grounded in real life. This has been Real Life Talk Podcast. Real conversations, real people, real solutions. God bless you, everybody. And we'll see you again next episode. Good night. Bye bye. Bye, everyone.